All right, according to a Gallop poll released earlier this month, only about a quarter of Americans are getting at least 8 hours of sleep. NTD's Andrew Tомас speaks with a neurologist to discuss some of the adverse health effects and how to get more shut-eye.
Are you getting enough sleep? A Gallop poll published on April 15th found that 57% of Americans say they would feel better if they could get more. Only 42% said they are getting as many Z's as they need. Neurologist Dr. Brandon Crawford is concerned.
What we're seeing is this general trend in the population that our circadian rhythms, our circadian biology is being altered, and not in a good way. And this most recent poll is telling us that, it's reflecting it. It's telling us that the quality of sleep is going down and that the amount of stress or the amount of perceived stress is going up.
What happens to the human body when we sleep?
Number one, we have a lymphatic system. So our lymphatics, it's like taking out the trash, right? It's like lymphatics in our body, but basically we're sweeping away all the inflammation, all the debris that we've gathered through the day from all the metabolic activity in our brain. This is essential for a properly functioning brain. And this is one reason why when you wake up in the morning, you feel that clear-headedness and you feel more energetic, or you should, right?
Crawford says screen exposure has an adrenaline-like effect on the body before bedtime.
I call it the digital hypodermic needle. Whenever you're on a screen, right, people are going to sleep, they're looking at their phones, they're watching TV, they're getting that high-frequency stimulus, okay? What this does is this actually does stimulate adrenaline. This stimulates norepinephrine, this stimulates dopamine, this stimulates this neurochemistry that does not promote sleep.
Crawford also explains how screen lights are inconsistent with our human evolutionary biology.
Think of it this way. When the sun goes down, our brain is not designed to then flash a bunch of high-frequency lights in front of our eyes. When the sun goes down, we're supposed to be in the dark. That's how our brain is designed. That's how our body is designed. We have this circadian biology that follows the light of the day, right? So when we start to disrupt it, when we start to flood our brain with this artificial light, we start to see these adverse effects, right?
In addition to limiting or eliminating screen time before bed, Crawford recommends people stop eating 3 hours before hitting the sack.
And this is something that people don't really realize, but you actually have circadian clock genes in your liver that are very connected to when you eat, all right? So yes, of course, we need to be watching what we eat, but we also need to be aware of when we eat, because if you eat right before you go to sleep, that is going to reset these circadian genes specifically in the liver, and that's going to disrupt sleep.
So what kind of adverse health effects are you and other doctors seeing from patients that aren't getting enough sleep or aren't getting good quality sleep?
So some of the main ones are going to be diabetes and insulin resistance. You're also going to carry a higher risk for cardiovascular disease, and you increase your risk for things like dementia and Alzheimer's and neurodegenerative diseases.
Gallup's April poll found that only 26% of Americans said they got 8 or more hours of sleep a night. Just over half reported getting 6 to 7 hours. 20% said they got only 5 hours or less. Andrew Tомас, NTD News.